Kering will close at least 100 stores in 2026, another 100 between 2027 and 2028. The headlines call it a retail story. From the supply side, it is a different story. Stay with me on this. Here is what is documented in Kering's own communications. 100 net store closures scheduled in 2026. Approximately 40% of those in Asian markets. Another 100 closures across 2027 and 2028. 200 total over 3 years, with Gucci accounting for the largest share. Context: full year 2025 total Kering revenue down 13% year over year. Gucci alone down 22%. First quarter 2026 down another 6.2%. CEO Luca de Meo, in a memo to the company, framed the strategy in his own words. Quote, "We sometimes diluted our identity by trying to give everything for everyone." End quote. The plan: fewer products, fewer stores, tighter definition of each brand. And here is the part of the announcement that the consumer-facing coverage is not centering. Listen, most coverage of these closures focuses on the retail experience, which stores close, which markets shrink, what it means for shoppers, all legitimate. But the bigger operational question, for anyone working in the textile supply chain, is the implied volume change. If a luxury group closes 30% of its retail footprint over 3 years, the volume of finished garments that footprint requires also changes. That feeds backward into fabric orders, backward into yarn orders, backward into raw material orders. And the change is not just in volume, it is in supplier composition. Because when luxury brands consolidate, they do not cut 20% off every supplier evenly. They prune the supplier list. The brands that get to stay are the ones the brand can defend keeping. The brands that get cut are the ones that cannot show why they should not be. This pattern is not theoretical. It happened in 2008 after the financial crisis. It happened in 2020 during the pandemic. The mechanics are documented in industry trade reporting from both periods. Each time the same outcome. The suppliers that survived the consolidation were not the cheapest. They were the ones with infrastructure the brand could point to internally: traceability, reliability, capability, exclusivity. 3 signals from Kering's announcement that, taken together, point to upstream consolidation, not just retail consolidation. 1. The 40% of closures in Asia is concentrated where Kering's wholesale and direct-to-consumer mix is most fragmented. Asia consolidation is also supply consolidation, because the regional supply network supporting those stores will not stay the same size. 2. Kering has changed creative direction at 3 of its top houses simultaneously: Gucci, Saint Laurent, Bottega Veneta. Creative direction changes mean product direction changes. Product direction changes mean fabric specification changes. New creative directors typically reduce the number of suppliers they inherit, not expand them. 3. The CEO memo language, "We sometimes diluted our identity," is operational shorthand. Diluted identity in luxury vocabulary means too many products, too many fabrics, too many suppliers. The remedy is selection, not addition. 3 signals, 1 direction. Not all suppliers will be there in 2028. The decisions about who stays are being made now. Quick one before we go deeper. 2 questions for you. Tell me below. 1. If your business is connected to luxury supply, directly as a mill or indirectly as an agent or a smaller supplier, how concentrated is your revenue on Kering or any single luxury group? If one group is more than 30% of your book, you have a concentration question to answer. 2. For brand-side viewers, when your group last did a strategic reset, were suppliers consolidated quietly or formally announced? The answer tells you what to expect from your fabric partners now. And if nothing comes to mind to write, just drop a ring emoji in the comments. Those who know me know why. For everyone else, it's a small gesture that helps me and the channel. Hit the like if this is landing. There is a pattern I have seen play out in this trade twice before, and what is starting now feels like the third time. The 2008 financial crisis, the 2020 pandemic. Both moments, the headlines were about retail and consumer demand. Both moments, what actually happened upstream was different. The brands that consolidated did not consolidate on price. They consolidated on what they could defend internally to their own boards and managers. We kept this supplier because they have certifications nobody else has. We kept this mill because they delivered through the disruption. We kept this agent because the relationship is 20 years deep and the data flow works. The suppliers that only had a price story did not get to stay. The ones that had a story beyond price did. And here is what makes this third moment different from the previous two. In 2008 and 2020, the pruning happened to the rhythm of the crisis, sudden, reactive. The Kering reset is announced over 3 years, 2026, 2027, 2028. The pruning is going to be slower, more deliberate, more measurable from the outside. And if you are on the supply side, on the brand side, or anywhere in between, here are 3 concrete decisions to consider in the next 90 days. 1. Map your luxury exposure honestly. Take your client list. Calculate what percentage of your revenue depends on Kering and on each individual luxury group. If any single group is over 25% of your book, you have a concentration risk that the next 3 years will test. The decision is not whether to fire the client. The decision is whether to invest now in widening the rest of your book before the test arrives. 2. Document the story beyond price for each major account. For your top 5 luxury accounts, write down in 2 paragraphs each what makes you irreplaceable beyond the cost of your fabric, certifications they need, capabilities they cannot easily source elsewhere, data and traceability you provide that others do not, relationship history, speed of response. If you cannot fill 2 paragraphs for an account, that account is your highest pruning risk. 3. Track the creative director moves at your luxury accounts as supply signals. When a brand changes creative leadership, the new director almost always reduces the supplier list they inherit. Watch for these moves. Use them as early indicators that decisions about which suppliers stay and go are being made now, even if no formal communication has reached you yet. If you have lived through a previous luxury consolidation cycle, 2008, 2020, or any internal restructuring at a brand you supply, tell me what you observed. The comments here go directly into how I think about my own next year. I learn faster when I learn in public. And one more thing before I let you go. This closes a 7-video series, from designer authorship to raw material spikes to retail consolidation. 1 thread, 7 angles. The next video continues the lens. On my right, when it goes up. On my left, the Q1 luxury earnings video where this Kering thread started. Stay curious. Talk soon.